Hello brothers and sisters, my name is Ronnie Roush and I'm the branch president for Carmel, MERS Branch 888 in Carmel, Indiana. This video is my project for Leadership Academy and the need for CCAs to join the union. It is vitally important that each and every CCA become a member of the National Association of Letter Carriers. We need each and every member to be a union member and support the NALC agenda. You're going to see several people in this video with over 200 years of experience combined. And each one of those wise members knew long ago that they had to be a member of the NALC. And I highly recommend that you listen intently to each and every word, because there are years and years of experience on this video. And if you're not convinced that you need to join the union at the conclusion of this video, I'm not sure you'll ever be convinced. Thank you and enjoy the video.
Well, I think every letter carrier should be a member of the union. You can't run a union on the basis of less than full membership, both for the purposes of solidarity and financially. You can't run a union without full support. And for the CCAs who are now coming on board, the NALC was negotiating for those folks even before they were hired. We go back to the DOS Award in 2013, and you know, the benefits and the pay. The Postal Service wanted to pay these folks $10.25 an hour and no benefits. And of course, NALC wasn't willing to accept that and went to arbitration and was successful in getting a better pay and benefit package. And of course, continue today even. We're in contract negotiations now. And the lion's share of the work that's been put into this negotiations is to improve the pay and the working conditions for the CCA employee. So, you know, the union works for the CCAs like they do everybody else, and that's why the CCA, I believe, should be a member of the NALC. Also, there are benefits that come with membership in the NALC. We have the best health benefit plan of all the federal employee health benefit plans, and when you compare our rates and premiums to that of the other plans, you will see that the NALC is far superior to those. But you got to be a member of NALC to be a member of the NALC health benefit plan. So that's just one of the members.
For one thing, the NALC provides a lot of education. The post office uses handbooks and manuals that comprise thousands and thousands of pages. And no individual can learn all the pages of those handbooks and manuals. And that's the rules that they use to govern our work. And the union helps educate the employees on what those rules are. And so it's important for the union and for the employee to join the union to help understand the work rules that the Postal Service is going to use to dictate your work environment. The education isn't cheap. The training to send stewards and branch members to the training to learn the handbooks and manuals isn't cheap. And by pooling all of our resources, and resources is money, by pooling all of our resources, we can afford to send more people to have them trained to understand all of those thousands and thousands of pages in those handbooks and manuals. And when it's time to represent an employee in either a contractual dispute with the post office or a discipline dispute with the post office, that member that's representing needs to be educated. And by pooling our resources, we can afford to educate our representatives to be knowledgeable and more knowledgeable than the managers that are trying to enforce the discipline or enforce a contract provision. Make them more knowledgeable so that we can uphold our rights, because if you don't know your rights, you don't have any. And the union is going to educate you so that you know what your rights are, and that's how you have your rights. You can have somebody to listen when you've got a problem. That if there's a problem at work, a problem with the boss, a problem with a customer, you have somebody that you can go to and express and get an answer. Somebody that's dealt with it before. I have a philosophy that nobody lives long enough to make all their mistakes. You've got to learn from somebody else's mistakes. And the stewards and the officers in the union have experienced other people's mistakes, and they can teach you so that you don't have to learn it the hard way, that you can learn it through somebody else's mistake and not make the same mistake yourself. If you look at the hierarchy of the Postal Service, we've got a Postmaster General, okay? And we got Assistant Postmaster Generals. The Postal Management is like a military organization, and they run the thing like a military organization. They give you direct orders and they expect you to follow their orders. And you need to have a representative. You've got to have a buffer between you and the manager, and the union is that buffer. We're the exclusive bargaining agent for all letter carriers, and we're the ones that negotiate the pay raises at the national level. We're the ones that negotiate your local agreement that sets your vacation schedules and how to bid on assignments locally. The union is what negotiates that for you. As an individual coming in off the street as a CCA, you don't have a voice unless you join the union. And then you not only have a voice on the workroom floor through the steward, but you also have a voice in who that steward's going to be and who those officers are. Because our union's a democratic organization and it runs on votes, and you as a union member can vote for somebody to represent you, or you can vote against somebody that you don't like. But if you're a non-union member, you have no say. But the contract says that the NALC is the sole bargaining agent for all letter carriers. So if you're not a member of the NALC, then you have no say in who the officers are, and they're the only ones that can negotiate for you. You can't negotiate on your own, and you have no power to negotiate at a national level, only through the national union. And it's important that everybody belong to show support for the local and for the national, that you believe in the positions that they're taking.
I think it's kind of a no-brainer for a CCA to join the NALC. The way some of these CCAs are treated on the workroom floor, why would they not want to become, be part of the group that wants to help represent them and to make sure that they're treated fairly? I see too many CCAs, especially in small offices, that don't have union representation in that office, and it's nice for them to be able to give us a call so that we can have someone go down to represent them, or we can go down and represent them ourselves. I guess the biggest thing that the CCAs need to understand is they are the future of the Postal Service. They're the future of the NALC, and we have that career path for them now. Different areas has taken a different amount of time to make career, but once they, the earlier they get involved with the union, the more they'll understand what the union does for our members, and they can take that into their career and hopefully build on that. And when I'm retired, when I'm dead and gone, that hopefully the union can still be strong because those CCAs joined at a young age and learned what the union fights for them all the time. And in our next, these CCAs are one day going to be in my position. They're going to be the national president. They're going to be in these branch officers. They're going to be filling all kinds of different positions within the branches. So the earlier we can get them into those positions, the earlier we can get them involved, I think the better understanding they'll have of what this union really is. Because there's a lot of things that go on behind the scenes, a lot of extra hours that are put in that the normal carriers don't see. But as you get more involved with the union, continue to see it, and I think it's important for them to get started at an early age so they have that understanding, that background from all of our experienced NALC members we've had through the years. They can pass that knowledge on down to them and make them feel like they can make a difference as well.
Just making sure that the atmosphere is one of dignity and respect. They should step in, and they have stepped in on numerous times back years and years and years ago to make sure that our contractual rights are protected. I mean, I've got many examples I can go back to and with. Really, one of the main things I can recall early in my career is first time I got an assignment, and we had a route abolished in our zone, and a bunch of assignments got posted for bid through 4130, and I didn't understand the process. I was a very junior employee, and my bid assignment was taken away from me. I didn't understand, and at that point I knew I needed to become more involved and understand the contract and understand my rights. And Ernie Kirkland, as most everyone knows, he was a national officer. He's retired now. He was my mentor and from the beginning, and he taught me a lot of the contract and what my rights were. So yeah, I mean, they've always supported me. It's a resource to go to as far as learning your rights and benefits, and I totally urge everyone, every new CCA, to become familiar with your zone steward and ask questions. You know, get information, know your rights.
If you think this is an easy job, think again. Because if you want just a job, you can go to Walmart. If you want a career, you've selected a good profession as being a letter carrier in the post office. There's security, a defined pension plan, insurance, vacation, good benefits. It's middle-class America, and that's what you're looking for. To be able to buy a home, an automobile, raise your family, have this peace of mind by putting in a good day's work and knowing that you can make a career out of it.
When I introduce myself, I always introduce myself as a letter carrier first, or in this case, a retired letter carrier. And most of the leaders that I know, we identify ourselves as letter carriers or retired letter carriers first, and union members, because we're so proud to be part of this great union. After I do that, then I tell them the other things that I am, the president of the branch, and the only elected full-time officer in the state. And I'm also the chairman of the state executive board. And something that I love and try to pass that on to them, that I'm an advocate for arbitration. And I explain to them how important that I am. Only I then tell them that I'm not that important, or that any importance that I have is because of them, that we have strength in the numbers, and that I know that whenever I go up against management or advocate for a letter carrier, that it's that strength in those numbers. Why should they become a union member? We go through all of those things to try to impress upon them the importance of it. And with that, literally every benefit that any letter carrier has is because of NALC. Breaks, vacation, sick leave, annual leave. All of these things are because of the union. Management didn't give them to us freely. We negotiated and earned them. There's strength in the numbers. And in order for us to continue to move forward with our negotiations and increase our benefits and maintain them, we are going to have to maintain that membership that we have, which currently is over 92% nationally. In Branch 39, it's almost 94%.
to me, it seems that the post office is interested in training you and getting you on board and getting you carrying mail, because that's their mission, is to carry mail. And for the first few months when you're there and they're training you, that's what they're putting all their efforts in. But it seems like after you get through your training, for the next part of your career, which could be 30, 35, 40 years, it seems like all they're trying to do is fire you. And you need to have a representative that knows all those handbooks and manuals, that can represent you and make sure that management is following them correctly, but also telling you what your rights are. Again, if you don't know where your rights are, you don't have any. We have a postal record that comes out monthly that has different sections in there. There's city delivery, there's the contracted, the CAU, Contract Administration Unit, and they educate the carriers every month on what the rules are in the workplace and what the proper way is to handle that. And a non-union member does not get that postal record. The only way that they learn is they listen on the floor, or they go and they do their own research. And nobody has enough time to do all that research themselves. Where the letter carriers in the union, you've got a network, and the union officers and the stewards network together to get the right answer. And by being a member of the union, you get to take advantage of that network, and you get to draw on that wealth of information, wealth of knowledge that has been developed over hundreds of years. I have had 46 years in the post office. Somebody coming in is brand new, has got 1 month. Why not take advantage of my experience from 46 years when you're there 1 month? You can if you're a union member.
Is this raging debate right now about another stimulus plan, about how to create jobs, but I've got the answer. This coal miner from 15 miles up Cabin Creek has got the answer to every problem in America. You want a safer workplace? Join a union. You want higher pay? Join a union. You want more health care? Join a union. You want better pensions? Join a union. You want a voice at work? Join a union. You want to rebuild America? Join a union. You want a fairness in the workplace? Join a union. You want to eliminate poverty? Join a union. You want more democracy?